Hello everyone, this is the Mythical Dragon here, and we're back in the Dragon's Den. Pull up a seat and select a drink of your choice. I don't have anything for once. I have a little bit of water left. A little bit. But I might have to go make a coffee here right away because it's early in the morning again at the time of this recording. But I'm very excited for today's episode because our topic to dive into and discuss are my favorite songs and artists. And yes, I will feel the judgments and the, what else? Maybe ridicule, potentially, coming from everyone when I go through my list, but I don't know. Music is your own expression, your own way of living your life, and I think if we look at it that way, everyone's playlists are amazing. And you've got your own taste, and you've got your own style, and whatever appeals to you, appeals to you. With that out of the way, though, and that little message, I suppose, to begin this podcast episode, let's dive in. So I've picked a lot of songs that I want to talk about, a lot. And then I've got some artists in general, just to mention, and because I've got many songs I like from them, or that it would be awful if I did not mention them. So that's kind of the structure of this. I'm going to go through some key songs, key lyrics and things like that, and impressions and why I love it to this day, and we'll just have a nice little chat about music today. So the first song that is one of my favorites that I absolutely love listening to, because I've actually written a university essay for this paper, for this song actually. So I learned a little bit more about the meaning behind it, and I'm not going to go into a whole hour essay of Drops of Jupiter by Train, but I analyzed the song for one of my essays in university, but the first time I heard it, I think it was on one of those radio stations that's like 80s, 90s, and now kind of idea, and it was just so good. It's just a good melody, sweet little story, and I can relate to it so much because I feel like I am that person to people where I would just go off on my own and do my own thing and then suddenly reappear later in life going, hey, I'm back, I'm good, I've fixed my shits and I'm here. So the lyric that really reminds me of that kind of idea is now that you're back in the atmosphere with the rains of drops of Jupiter in your hair. Yeah. So now that you're back in the atmosphere. That's the lyric that always brings me back to that idea of me kind of poofing for a while and then coming back going, hey, I'm back. What's up? So I love that song, and there's so much more to it, of course, because there's so many beautiful lyrics in that song, but that is one of my favorites, Drops of Jupiter by Train, and Train in general, I'm just going to throw that out there, good band. There's lots of songs there like Save Me San Francisco, I love that one, good memories of that song. I managed to go to San Francisco in 2015, and I somehow timed it just right for that song to play as the plane was landing into SF. So a really cool little memory there, but I love Save Me San Francisco, Hey Sister, Drive By, 50 Ways to Say Goodbye. Really good band, really good songs to check out there. Most of it has a pretty good beat, and some are pretty sincere and have a really good meaning behind it, like Drops of Jupiter. Now, I've got Against the Current on my list twice here, but these two songs are really important because I love them a lot. So the first one is Voices by Against the Current, Voices. And what I like about that song the most is that it's about mental health, really, and like the kind of like your demons and like the little voices in your head that are telling you that no one likes you, that you'd be better off without them, like they'd be better off without you, and the lyrics in the song actually kind of call those out. And it's just kind of that idea of fighting against those voices and being like, no, I'm gonna ignore them, I want them to stop, when will they stop? And I feel like that's where my mindset goes every once in a while, is to hear those little voices, that little self-doubt, that feeling that no one likes you and it's all in your head. I get that quite a bit, so one way to combat that is, oddly enough, to listen to a song about it. It's Against the Current, Voices. One way to rock out to, your own demons and little voices in your head. Why not? The other song I have on here by Against the Current is Chasing Ghosts. Now that one's a relationship song. It's about chasing, your past and the love that you had before and that kind of idea. But I like to see it more with the chasing your past and like who you were. And that's kind of the idea of the song too, is chasing who you were before. And I've had those feelings lately with the pandemic and my experiences in the UK and university and how much I've changed over the years. Part of me just wishes I can go back to being who I was in high school. I was very out there. I was with friends all the time. I worked all the time. I managed to balance school, work, and social life very well. And I keep chasing that feeling the best I can sometimes, and it doesn't really work because we've changed, we've grown, we've evolved, and nothing's the same. So that song just reminds me of that. Like, no, you've changed. It's okay. You can chase these ghosts as much as you can, but just remember, you've changed. Your life is different than it was back in 9 years ago. A lot has happened in 9 years. You're different, and it's okay. So I like those songs from Against the Current. I have a whole other list of songs, by the way, from that band that I like, and I can list them all really quickly here. So Running with the Wild Things, PATT. I can't remember what that actually stands for right now at this moment, but it's a really good song. Running with the Wild Things, PATT, The Fuss, Outsiders, Wasteland, In Our Bones, Demons, Weapon, That Won't Save Us, Again and Again, Jump, Gravity, Infinity, Comeback Kid, Talk, all those songs Against the Current. I've pretty much listed almost all the songs they've ever written. But I love that band, very good band. You can rock out to their songs pretty easily. There's some more heartfelt ones, some more sincere ones, and a lot about living your life and dealing with mental health. So that's kind of a nice refresher for a band to have, is that escape from all the romance songs and having something a little more sincere, relatable, and something that everyone deals with. So I really like that band. You can give it a check if you like. I listed a whole bunch of songs there, so enjoy that little search of music. The next single on this list, and it is just one song, and I talked about this a little bit in the last episode, but now I'm going to go into more of a deep dive about this song right now. And that's the song Why Worry by Set It Off. This song here is a song I've recently discovered. It's not brand new. It's not a new single, but I've found it really for the first time a few months ago. And I've listened to it almost every day, at least once a day. It's got a really good beat. It can get you clapping. It can get you stomping your feet, dancing. But there's also a really good message behind the song, Why Worry? And I think you can kind of get the hint of like, why worry? So it's just kind of that reminder that people need sometimes, that life is going to keep going no matter what. No matter what you're dealing with, what you're going on with, it does move on with or without you. And so why should you worry? Why keep putting yourself in that state of worry and stress and all of the other negative emotions when you can let it go? Like, there is the possibility out there to let it go. Now, I know that's complicated. Many people can't let the worry go or let the stress go. I am one of them. But when I listen to that song, some of that stress goes away. Because, again, it's got a good beat. The lyrics are really impactful and meaningful. And I was going to start saying it, but then I'll start singing it because the tune is so good. Go check it out for yourself. But it has a good message to it, a hard message too. accept and internalize for a lot of people. I will say that. But just listening to the song can help alleviate some of your worries and stress, even if it's just for the 3 minutes and however long that song is. It's still at least 3 minutes that you've stopped worrying, which is kind of cool. Now, this song I talked about again. A few of these songs I talked about in the podcast episode last week, but I want to get into them a little bit more in this episode today. And I just lost my place on my page. One moment. Ah, yes. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. There's so many lyrics in that song that really still relate to me. And some of those lyrics are, I am a question to the world, not an answer to be heard. That kind of part of that song always speaks to me a little bit. Like, I feel like I'm not really easily understood as a person and as a human. And that makes it hard to meet friends, connect with others. And I've got such weird hobbies and habits, and I get so focused and fixated on hobbies and things that people don't care about. So then I am a question to the world, but not an answer to be heard. So people question what I'm doing and who I am and why do I do all the things that I do. But at the same time, they don't want to hear the answer to those questions because they're never going to get it. And I feel like I'm that. I feel like I am like that in this existence of life a little bit. So I like that song for that. Plus it's just really powerful. It's from my favorite movie, Treasure Planet, and it's just so relatable. Even how many years later, it's just, I can listen to it and be transported to that mood, to that state of going, yeah, no one gets me. Almost like a teenager, right? No one understands me. No one can hear me or see me or know who I am. And yeah, it's definitely a song like that. A very kind of emo-ish song a little bit, if you think about it. But there's a good message to it too. Like, you can't tell me how I feel. You can't tell me who I am. Like, there's still that part at the end of the song where it's like, yeah, you know what? This is who I am. I'm embracing it. I'm not going to let society, family, friends, people tell me who I am. I'm just going to be me. And that's kind of a nice twist to it near the end of that song. And I appreciate that little uplift you need sometimes. So I like that song, Iris, by the Goo Goo Dolls. Now the next one, I discovered the song that was covered by Against the Current, so I have to mention them again. Hello. But I listened to the original song and I like it too. And that song is I Want to Get Better by the Bleachers. Kind of a wild song. Some of the lyrics are like, oh, Violet, you okay? You doing alright? Because I think I said this in the last episode. One of the lyrics was, I should have put a bullet where I should have put a helmet where I put a bullet. No. I should have put a bullet where I should have put a helmet, but I crashed my car because I want to get carried away. Yay. Now I'm standing on the overpass screaming at the cars, hey, I want to get better. Yeah, that's definitely a good question on mental health a little bit. It's implying that you're ready to end your life a bit, but the chorus though changes it. Like, I think what's unique about the song is that it shows the mental state of the person very well, where there was someone who didn't know what death was and now they do. They've got difficulties in their life. They thought they could just appreciate the teenage years, but now they can't because everything in life sucks. But then the chorus comes, it's like, I didn't know I was broken until I met you. I didn't know I was lonely, or I didn't know I was lonely until I met you. I didn't know I was broken until I want to get better. So there's that, right? Where it's like, oh my goodness. The song takes you through a journey of their mental health and realizing, oh crap, I am not okay. I am in a state and a position, and my life has taken me on this road where, oh my gosh, I am not okay. I need help. And I've met some people in my life that make me want to stay around and get better for them. So it's that kind of song with a very nice, uplifting message, despite a little bit of a journey it takes you through to get there. But I like that song because it is a good realization, like, oh crap, checking in on myself, listening to the song, going, okay, where am I at mentally? Can you even do this right now in the podcast? Mentally right now, I'm exhausted. I'm stressed. I've had a ton of meetings this week. I've had to work on a number of things that I didn't even expect to come up and work on. I've had a few surprises this week that have made me choose projects, work, recording, and meetings over my sleep and mental health. So my mental health right now is pretty low, in the sense that I feel like I can't have a lot of spare time or to do things I would love to do again, like the Halloween events on Animal Crossing and Overwatch and in Minecraft and in other games I play. And I have no time for it. No time to do those things. I don't have time to go for daily walks like I want to. I don't have time to take care of my living space. I don't have time to take a bath every day. And I'm choosing all of this work and meetings and supporting others over taking care of myself. And I realized all of that simply by mentioning that song, I Want to Get Better. Because that's where my mind goes, listening to that song. I listen to the lyrics, I'm like, oh, they're not doing well. How am I doing? And then I kind of go through that journey. And some days, though, I listen to that song, I'm like, yeah, I just like the song. It's a good beat. It's a good jam. It's really easy to sing to. Hell yeah. Other days, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm listening to the song because deep down I'm not okay. And I want to get better. So, there's that. A little reaction and deep dive to that song, I Want to Get Better by The Bleachers. Now we get into some deeper songs here a little bit. And the next one is Second Chance by Shinedown. I mentioned that in last week's episode too, but I've recently listened to it again since last week, and I still get transported to that place where I think I listened to that song on repeat when I was moving away from my mom to go live with my dad. And really believing that that would be the second chance I needed. That this would lead to a much more safer life. More opportunities would come my way. And I chose to listen to that song with an upbeat and uplifting message. I know there's other interpretations out there in the world from that song, but I chose to listen to it that way, and I liked it in that interpretation. Listening to it again, different story a little bit, where it's almost like you wish you could have a second chance, but there isn't one available, so what do? You say goodbye. So way more sadder meaning to that than I thought it would be for me listening to it years later now at this point. So it's interesting to see how your mind shifts a little bit in the interpretation and the meaning you get from the song after listening to it again for the first time in like 5-6 years or so. It's really interesting, but it's one of my favorite because I do love the lyrics. Sometimes goodbye means a second chance. There's something about Halley's Comet too in that song that I really like, and of course I'm a science nerd, so I love astrology and astronomy, so the fact that they bring up something like Halley's Comet is really great. So thank you, Shinedown, for that little knock to science in your song. Now next song, I don't know the original artist, or if this is an original song by these two people. So I'm really sorry. I probably should have done a little more research into this before I started recording, but I think I already established I did not have a lot of time this week, so my bad. But I do love at least the cover of this, or the original song. Maybe you can look it up for me, people. Yeah, thanks. But it's Perfect by Design, and it's sang by Nate, like Nate Wants to Battle and Amelie. And I love this song. Why do I love this song? I got it. I had to listen to... It's the tricky part about doing a podcast episode on music and publishing it on a platform that frowns upon you singing. I had to go quiet there to think about the lyrics, and I now recognize that the song is about sort of that idea that everything in your life is the same every day. And technically, when you have that stability, that routine, that day-to-day that just stays the same, it should be perfect by design, right? It means you've set yourself up for success, you're good to go, you've got that stability, you're living life a lot better than many others. You should be feeling fine. You should be feeling fortunate and lucky from where you are. But why aren't I? Why can't I escape from my own life is one of the lyrics there, and I'm like, whew. Every time I hear them belt that in the song and sing it out, I'm like, yeah, why can't I escape from my own life? And it's because we are tied down to that routine, to that sense of comfort, to that sense of what you know. And many people don't stretch out of that or try to get out of it. And it's a good song that really explores that idea for sure. And I feel that way a lot. But I'm also realizing I'm a little different now than when I first heard that song. I'm a little different now because I am doing new things with my life to change it up a little bit. So with Toastmasters, for example, every single week I'm doing something new, it feels like. I'm working on a new project. I'm supporting another member with a project. I've signed up to do something different and something new. I've taken on leadership opportunities. And I'm really stretching myself more than I ever thought I would in Toastmasters. However, there are still some things that feels like I can't escape. And that is from the role of Vice President Education. I have to do all these things every week. I have to schedule educationals. I have to schedule the weekly agendas for both clubs. I have to support our members. I have to check in on members. I have to schedule their speeches. I have to support them with their goals. And that's where I feel like I can't escape still. So it's perfect by design because I'm learning, and there's a lot of self and professional development coming out of this. It's just, it does become a little bit of a grind sometimes. And some weeks, aka this week, I feel the burnout a little bit. So that song still catches me even to this day. Perfect by design. I should be happy with the progress I'm making and the goals I'm achieving and the things I'm doing in my life, but I'm not. And I wish I could escape it sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. So that was Perfect by Design by Nate and Emily. Now, next song, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's just because I am an 80s fan and the song has just been on my radar for eons and eons and eons. There have been many, many covers by many, many bands of this song, but the original still wins my heart. It still has a little soft space for me. And that is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. The original song is from that band, Tears for Fears. Lorde has covered it, and I do like her version of it. And if my Toastmasters friends are listening to this, they're gonna wonder what music and people I listen to. But another band that's covered it and did a really good job with it, a really, really good cover, is the Ninja Sex Party. Do with that band title as you would. But Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I think there's some lyrics in there that still relate to me, and I have to think about these lyrics now. Oh, it's not coming to me or no. Oh, there's a room where the light won't shine in. There's a room where the light... Or there's a room where the light won't find you. Well, roll ahead while the walls start crumbling down. If they do, I'll be right beside you. Holding hands while the walls start tumbling down. There you go. There's some of the lyrics. I kind of mixed up the order a bit, but yeah, there's a room where the light won't find you. And we're holding hands while the wall starts tumbling down. If they do, I'll be right beside you. Yeah. Yeah, I like those lyrics where, you need to have someone in your life like that. A little bit, where it feels like your life is crashing down around you. And I've been there. I think we've all been there at some point in this pandemic, specifically. But to have that kind of support and someone there to actually hold your hand a little bit, physically, literally, figuratively, helps so much. And I think for me, sometimes it feels like no matter what I do, I'm still not being seen or heard. And so I think some of those lyrics in Everybody Wants to Rule the World fits in quite a bit and hits home. But otherwise, it's a really good song. I love it. I can sing it from start to finish with no problem. If I heard the song recently, which I haven't. So I can't challenge myself with that in this podcast. But it's a good song. I love it. Check it out. Check the original. Tears for Fears. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Then check Ninja Sex Party, because I think they did a really good cover of it. And I think their quality is just a notch up higher than Lord's cover of it. But then you can go check out Lord too, and let me know what you think of the 3 versions of the song, one being the original. That was Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Oh, I just realized we're going through a lot of serious songs here in a row. My bad. From I Want to Get Better, Second Chance, Perfect by Design, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and now Half-Life. This is the story for Half-Life. And I have to laugh at myself because I first heard this song. Remembering the name of the movie. Oh, What a Girl Wants, with Amanda Bynes in it. And the song is called Half-Life by Duncan Shake. And it's such a good song. And if you are someone who's been through a divorce, or parents are separated, or you've been through a loss and you feel kind of stuck between the two worlds, or you're only living half a life because of it, it's gonna hit you hard. Because yeah, it's a good one, and I can sing that song off the top of my head even right now. Like, I'm awake, afternoon, fell asleep in the living room. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Shush. I will maybe do it for a challenge for a fundraiser, maybe. But it's a good song because it just describes that, like, idea that there's something missing in your life, whether it's like a parent, a sibling, family member, or something just missing in your life, and you feel like you're not living your life to the fullest. And there's that sort of second triple meaning behind that song too, that you're not living life to the fullest. And there's just a big part missing somewhere in that. So it's a good song for that. Oh, here we go. I found a fun one for you guys. It's a classic? I'll put that as a question mark. But the song Riptide by Vance Joy. Anyway, can't sing it in this podcast, but it's such a fun song, and it's very cute because he's obviously singing about someone he really likes, and it talks about like life being up and down like a riptide, of course, and it's so fun. It has a good beat to it, and every time I hear it, it makes me smile. And the one lyric in particular that makes me smile a lot is I know you're gonna sing all the words wrong. So that's a fun line because it's about like your favorite song and you're gonna sing all the words wrong. Yeah, it's a fun little quirky line that makes me smile because I know I sing lyrics wrong for sure. And it takes me a while to learn them and look them up and be like, oh, whoops, been singing that wrong my entire life. But yeah, it's just a fun song. It's pretty uplifting. It's a good one for driving down the road, that kind of idea. It's a good song. I like Riptide by Vance Joy. Oh, wow, this band made my list too. Dang. Now, I'm not a big, huge 21 Pilots fan. I'm very, very sorry. I do like their songs. I have a couple on my list. I do have 2 on my list. And I do like the band, but I don't like every single song. So I'm not a huge 21 Pilot nerd or friend or fan or anything like that. Because I've seen the fandom and my gosh, it's huge. Do you know how big 21 Pilots fandom is? Ah, I'm a little too scared to be a part of it, to be honest. But people attach to whoever they attach to and they have fun with it. That is your world. But the 2 songs that I have on my list are Car Radio and The Run and Go. Very funny that both songs are about like traveling and, you know, going places and such. But Car Radio I liked because it's a really good song to get some anger out, I think. Because, yeah, there's a big scream that happens on the song that I like a lot. Like a good yell, a good like release of emotion that happens in Car Radio that I just really like. And plus the song has a nice little rhythm to it. It's like da 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 da. It has just a nice pentameter to it, so it's really good. And then The Run and Go is great. It's like it's funny. It's about committing a murder and you're on the run and go, basically. I know there's many other meanings behind it because, again, music is subjective to interpretation and your experiences in life, and there's so much more to it, but it just makes me laugh because the lyrics literally like, I have killed a man and I'm now on the run. I have killed a man and now as I'm on the run and go. Yeah, I don't know why I like that song, but it's great. I like it. Some of these songs are on my list because I've heard them once and then I ended up listening to them on repeat for years. And they're still a part of my playlist, on my regular music listening enjoyment. And yeah, The Run and Go and Car Radio I like to listen to kind of back to back for the rhythm to it, the beat to it, and just sort of a release of emotion that come from both songs. So I like it for those reasons. Yep. Now the next one is great. It's another band I like, and I've only listed 1 song from her. There's many, many more to go with this artist that I love and enjoy, but the one that when I first heard it, I was like, finally, a song that's about me, that I feel relates to me. And the song is Fucking Perfect by Pink, or Perfect by Pink if you want the censored version. But Fucking Perfect is so great because it's just a reminder of that life is shit. And people bully you, they tear you down, they pull you down, and the music video is great for this too. You can see more of what I mean by that, and what the song means through the music video. And it's just that reminder, it's like, you're fucking perfect to me. Yeah, that idea is just like, remember, no matter what you're being faced with, who you're dealing with, the voices in your head, the self-doubt, whatever you're facing or dealing with, it doesn't matter. You are still perfect in all of your own ways and all of your insecurities and all of your imperfections. No matter what, you are still perfect. And it's just such a good message, and some days you really need to hear that. And more often than not, when it pops on my playlist, I'm like, damn it, my Spotify knew that I needed this today. I needed that reminder that, well, no matter what, I am perfect in my own little way, and it's okay. So I really like that song a lot. And other songs I like by Pink, because we're on the topic of Pink, of course, is What About Now, Who Knew, Get This Party Started, You in Your Hand, Rockstar, or sorry, So What, not Rockstar. My gosh, Rockstar's Nickelback. Nickelback is not on my list, so I guess I should mention that I do like Nickelback. Okay, I'm sorry. So What, Family Portraits. That's a deep one. I'm surprised that didn't make it on my list, but yeah, Pink, great artist, powerful singer. Oh yeah. She has that song about clowns too. Anyway, Pink's a good band, but the song that I put on my list, because it's absolutely part of my life and who I am, is Fucking Perfect by Pink. This next song is really sweet, and I heard it on the radio not many years ago, quite a few years ago at least. A relatively newish song, again, I guess this generation of music. But it's Heroes We Could Be by Alesso and Tovlo. And that's the songs like We Could Be Heroes. I wish I could sing it for you guys, but YouTube doesn't allow for that. But give it a listen to. But what I love about that song is there's that part in every song where it just goes into like a little extra powerful punch. And the powerful punch on this song is like, all we're looking for is love in a little life, love in a little life we could be. All we're looking for is love in a little life, love in a little life. And I think that song was true for me in university when I listened to that the most. And now in the pandemic, I think it's pretty relatable for everyone. That we could use a little more life, we could use a little more love and kind of experience what that all is again. So it's a good song, and it just also talks about not fitting into the normal day and the normal life and the normal routines. You're just a little outside of it, and so I relate to that again as well. I don't quite fit into the normal, or what is perceived as normal, but yet what makes me normal is still wanting love in life and to live life and have some form of love. I think that's pretty universal and well understood. Oh, the next one's a deep one too. Sorry guys, we're going on a journey. And this next one is called Human by Cruella. Now, it's a deep one because it just talks about so much pain and stress and heartbreak and life just being so hard, and there's so much expectations on us as people, and I'm only human is the main message there. It's like, I'm only human, I bleed and I break down, I'm only human. It just kind of shows you that life gets heavy, you're gonna react to it, and you shouldn't be judged for having those moments of despair, anger, frustration. It's okay to have it, and you should feel that way. You shouldn't hide it, because you are human. And as humans, we express these things, and we should express them. So it's a really deep song, and the music video makes me cry every time, because it's about the band being on tour, and there's a lot of heartbreak that the band goes through, like while they're on tour, and some of the things they share and show in that video is just, it's heartbreaking. and the lyrics match the music video really well, and it's just, oh, that one's an emotional one, and I haven't heard that one in a while, but I went back and watched it on YouTube, watched the video again. I was like, yeah, there you go, there's the epitome of human experience right before our eyes. So it's pretty deep and impactful. And oddly enough, I didn't hear that song on the radio or anywhere or on YouTube, anywhere. I heard it on the game Osu. So my ex and I used to play Osu a lot, and for some reason that was one song I picked to kind of learn the game a bit. And I was like, oh, if I wasn't focused on getting the beat and all the circles, this is a good song. I want to know more. But yeah, good song about the human existence and feeling everything you need to feel, and that those feelings and what you're expressing should be allowed, because yeah, we're only human. Yeah, there's that. Okay. Oh, here's some more fun ones. Here we go. We got some fun songs now on the list here. Mr. Brightside, The Killers. Don't need to say anything about that. Good classic song. My favorite memory with that song, though, actually, was I went to see Against the Current live in London, England, because I lived there for a couple of years. And while waiting for the opening band to get on stage, they played music. So we got to our seats, and I'm an early bird. I get there early all the time. And I got there early to get a drink, find my seat, see where I was at, and practice taking photos so I can get some good shots of the band when they performed. And just before the opening act came on the stage, they played Mr. Brightside by The Killers on the speakers, and a magical thing happened where everyone was singing the song so loudly, so proudly, that none of us realized that they turned off the speakers and the band was on stage. None of us realized that. And then the band joined in at the very end. And we're like, oh, it started! And everyone started to cheer, and then we finished with Mr. Brightside, and then they began their show. So my favorite memory of that is Mr. Brightside there. Another London memory of Mr. Brightside was we did an agency Christmas dinner my first year, so that was just a few months of living in the UK. We went to Canada. We went to Canada Water. So yeah, there's actually a place called Canada Water in London. And we had dinner near there, and Mr. Brightside started playing on the radio when we were having dinner in the restaurant, and all of us freaking nerdy Canadians started singing that song very loudly. And it's very funny because it's a very formal and fancy venue, and there's just all of us rocking out to this song around Christmas. So yeah, a lot of good times with Mr. Brightside. You can't get wrong with The Killers. And I also, like, somebody told me, and I can just, there's a whole list I can give you, but yeah, Mr. Brightside I've got a lot of good memories with, and two of my top, I guess the top two memories are both in London, where I got to sing and belt that out in two very interesting ways. Next one here is Anna's Son, Walk the Moon. And it's a fun one, but it's also a good exploration of life. Where it's like, my back's on the britches, we tore up the walls, we slept on couches, we lifted this house, Oh, Anna's Son. And it's got a good beat to it. It's a lot of fun, but it is about, like, life falling apart around you, and you're just doing your best to make ends meet. Yeah, one of those songs. Can relate. I mean, I've gone from teacher salary to minimum wage, so that song becomes a little more relatable nowadays than before when I first found it. Just saying. Oh, this song. I think when I heard this song, I just really loved the beat to it and the music video. So I found this song on YouTube. I watched the music video and I loved it because it's Timbaland and Katy Perry. The song is If We Ever Meet Again, and it's like a museum heist situation, and they're just trying to like catch each other's glimpses, and they're hoping to meet each other again, but of course they're both trying to rob the same thing, and like, I don't know. It's very silly and ridiculous, but it's a very fun song. Good beat to it. And yeah, I don't know. I just really, really like the song. I do like Timbaland. I do like Katy Perry as well for other songs and things that I've heard over the years, but I had to put that song on my list because every time I hear it, it just is an instant mood booster for me. And I can't really tell you why. Just one of those songs that can do it for me. Check it out and see for yourself. That's all I can say. Oh no, my next song is really sad too. Here we go. Oh no, sorry. Not yet. Sad song is not yet. Romantic song is next. And that's I'll Be by Edwin McCain. So it's like, I'll be your crying shoulder. I'll be... Anyway, a very romantic cute song, and I told myself if anyone were to ever sing that to me in my life and propose to me with that song, I'd just say yes and marry them. Hell yeah. Because it's just a sweet song. It's explaining like all the different ways that the person would be there for you and how much they love you and all the ways they love you, and it's just so tender and sweet, soft and serious and sincere and genuine. Beautiful song, and I love it so much. And so I'll Be by Edwin McCain. And I think I do believe it is in that A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff and Chad Michael-Murray. So there's that too. A lot of these songs are from movies or from the radio or because I found it and liked it and listened to it for months in a row. Pretty much the truth right there. But that's my one romance, my super one romance song on this list is I'll Be by Edwin McCain. The rest of these songs are deep, meaningful, fun, crazy, or there's a lyric in there that I really like. There you go. And this song is called Sail by AWOL Nation. And I've heard this song in car commercials, and I'm just like, damn, why this song in car commercials? Because there's lyrics in the song that should not be for cars. So some of the lyrics in that song is like, blame it on my ADD, baby. Maybe, is this a crowd? Maybe, ugh. There's just, I can't remember the lead up to this lyric, but for some reason it's just one that sticks in my head, and I've got it in my head for years now, is maybe I should kill myself. Oof, I should not laugh when I say that, should I? But, again, it's one of those songs that I listen to when I'm in a funk, and for some reason it does cheer me up. It doesn't actually make me want to kill myself or do anything drastic or rash, but it's one of those songs where I'm like, yeah, I get you, man. I feel ya. I feel all those things right now, and I get ya. And there's someone who can sing about it so well. Thanks for being an expression of my pain or my depression or my mental health and my mindset. So it's a bad song. It's really dark, but what else is new on my list? Oh boy. So we're down to my last 6 songs. Hey, we're getting there. Down to my last 6 songs, and then I got a whole list of artists that I like as well. So let's get going. I like the song Hideaway by Kiza. Kiza's a Canadian artist. A lot of people have heard this song before because it's pretty high-pitched, and some people find it annoying, but I really like it. It's upbeat. Her voice is actually really beautiful if you can get past like the high-pitchedness of it, and the music video is really fun. It's like her like dancing and rocking out in the middle of the streets in Toronto. It's fun. It's a fun song. No really deep meaning behind it. I just really like it. I like her voice. I like her variety. Her strengths in the lower parts of the song, the higher parts of the song. I'm not a music person, guys, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but I like it a lot. So Hideaway by Kiza. Really good if you want a Canadian artist. There you go, Kiza. Song. This song hit me hard. Oh, I think I'm gonna cry in this podcast, but it's not a sad song per se by any means. It's just explaining how you wish you can hold on to your innocence longer. So the song is called Innocent by Our Lady Peace, and I heard the song on the radio right around the time that my grandpa got diagnosed with cancer, and it became one of the songs I put on repeat after he and my grandma passed away. Because I had my grandparents pass away in my first year university, just 7 months apart. And there's lyrics in that song like where she wishes she was a dancer, she wishes she never heard of cancer, she wishes God would give her some answers and make up for losing hope. That would be the reason why I listen to that song a lot. Because I was angry, I was confused, I didn't understand why this could happen. And with my first year university, the year that was supposed to be the year I could make new friends and try new things and be cool and kind of live on my own, and it was the worst year of my life, one of the worst years that I'd been through. And so that song, for some reason, I just kept listening to it over and over again, just literally for that section. And then, but the chorus makes up for it. It's like, I remember feeling low, and I remember losing hope, and I remember all the feelings. Yeah, but it's, yeah. So every time I listen to that song, I get a little emotional because it just brings me back to that 2012, 2013 year where it was awful. But yeah, that song's such a good outlet for those emotions, especially if you haven't felt that grief in a while. So, hello. I didn't expect to hit that in this podcast, but here we are. So that was Innocent, Our Lady Peace. And yeah, that section there, really just that one part over and over again. And here's some fun ones, okay? I think there's 3 fun ones, one a little more serious, so my bad. I do have one more little serious one in this little list. But it's serious in a way of like being a woman is awesome and being a warrior and that kind of thing. So I guess I'll talk about that now. So the song is Warrior by Beth Crowley. Now, I've only recently discovered this song, but every time I hear it, it just feels empowering. As a woman, as someone who's more soft-spoken, like everyone tells me I have a beautiful voice to listen to, but it is soft, it is light, and it's hard to fight and be taken seriously having a voice like I do. I have to really change my tone to be heard or demand to be heard. And this song just feels empowering. It's just like, it doesn't matter about those things. You are who you are. And you're a goddamn warrior. So it's really uplifting, and some of the meaning behind it too. There's different meanings, of course, because I've already explained it. People interpret things in different ways. But that song just really does uplift me quite a bit. And just reminds you that, like, yeah, I know I can be heard, I can be seen, I can fight for what I want. And yeah, it's a good song. The next one is a kind of a fun dance song. So when I need I'm gonna phrase it in this way because why not? When I'm broke as fuck and I still want to have a good time and have fun, I listen to the song. And why I'm phrasing it this way is because the song is called Cheap Thrills by Sia and Pitbull. So Cheap Thrills, I just love that song so much. It has a really good groove to it. And yeah, it's like, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. I love Cheap Thrills. So I relate to that more often than you guys think, where I'm pretty low on the funds and low on being able to do what I want for entertainment and having fun. And so then that song comes on and it just gets me up and dance. It's like, come on, turn the radio on. Saturday and I won't be long. I love that song. I can dance. That song will immediately want me to get up and dance. And it's just great. It's a very fun song. So thank you, Sia. Now this wouldn't be a favorite songs and artist playlist or episode of the podcast if I didn't bring up Britney Spears. Duh. But a lot of people, I like doing this game with people. What Britney Spears song do you think is on my list? A lot of people will say probably Toxic or Stronger or Hit Me Baby One More Time. A lot of good classics or Circus or, there's so many Britney Spears songs. And of course I love all of them. But my favorite is Hold It Against Me. I love that song because I feel like I can sing that song to some people in my life. Where it's like I'm choosing things for myself, I'm doing what I want, and will you hold that against me? And I need a vacation tonight. And it's also like about loving who you love and spending your time with who you love. And is that such a bad thing? Like, would you hold it against me? That idea. So it's one of my favorite songs, and it's beautifully sang, beautiful music video. She looks gorgeous in that music video, and a number of occasions. I mean, Britney Spears is just gorgeous anyway, but I had to have her on my list, especially with the whole Free Britney and all the craziness that's come out about her conservatorship. So I had to put Britney on my list. Absolute favorite artist. There's many songs I love from her, but Hold It Against Me is at my top, for sure. And last but not least is a light song. It's a fun one. It's a Leather Jacket by the Arkells. And I really don't have an explanation for it besides it's really fun. It's a good song to blast while driving down the highway or going on a road trip. It's like a summery vibe as well. I don't know, it's some fun lyrics too, and it's quite serious about some of the things that he is singing about, like both the singer and the narrator, or the main character of the song is. It's serious, it's sad, but it's also kind of good, and it's uplifting, and I don't know, it's a fun one to listen to, and I'd add that on my list. So Leather Jacket by the Arkells. Phew! We've been through an hour of music, and an hour of songs, and an hour of emotions, and meaning, and learning more about my life through music. So let's recap. I'm just going to list all the songs I just mentioned and their artists. And then I'll end this episode by giving you some more bands and some more people I listen to. So, recap. Songs that I absolutely adore and are my favorites, no matter how old the songs are. Drops of Jupiter by Train. Voices and Chasing Ghosts by Against the Current. Why Worry by Set It Off. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. I Wanna Get Better by the Bleachers. Second Chance by Shinedown. Perfect by Design, Nate Wants the Battle, and Amelie. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Half-Life by Duncan Shaik. Riptide, Advanced Joy. Car Radio, The Run and Go, so both songs by 21 Pilots. Fucking Perfect by Pink. Heroes, and in brackets, We Could Be, by Alesso and Tovlo. Mr. Brightside, The Killers. Anna's Son, Walk the Moon. If We Ever Meet Again, Timbaland and Katy Perry. I'll Be by Edwin McCain. Sail by Able Nation. Hideaway by Kiza. Innocence by Our Lady Peace. Cheap Thrills by Sia. Hold It Against Me, Britney Spears. Warrior, Beth Crowley. Leather Jacket, The Arkells. Now, this isn't a full extensive list by all means. I've forgotten bands like Simple Plan, Nickelback, Sum 41, many other bands. But hey, those bands are on my list actually, so good start. So here are some other bands and artists I listen to. Nickelback, Simple Plan, Sum 41, Imagine Dragons, Carmen, 5 Seconds of Summer, Counting Crows, Zendaya, Hilary Duff. I feel like the judgment's starting to begin, but it's okay. Selena Gomez, Neon Trees, Lorde, The Beatles, Bryan Adams, Bon Jovi, Queen, Zedd, and the last two I'm saving because they're artists that sing openings for animes. Yeah, I'm a nerd. What of it? But Jeff and Casey Williams, they sing and perform the music for all the RWBY soundtracks. So the RWBY opening, ending, and the songs in the actual anime itself. So RWBY, that's RWBY. So Jeff and Casey Williams, a lot of power songs come from the series and the anime. So they're on my list because I do listen to the RWBY volumes 1 to 8 now quite often. So very talented people, very talented voice on Casey. Very, very good. And the other one is Elisa for the Sword Art Online openings and endings, and she does a lot with Sword Art Online, and I love some of her other singles too. I have a whole list. I'm not gonna run this episode longer by listing all the songs I love by Lisa, but she's really, really great too. And Japanese, so take that with you as you will if you want to listen to some music in another culture. But there's that. Speaking of other cultures, I do have a Spanish list here too. So Maluma, Daddy Yankee, Luis Fonsi, Shakira, Enrique Iglesias, Pitbull. I have to throw Pitbull in there because it's Pitbull. Cinco, and this was like a boy band, so CNCO, Cinco. And those are the main ones. So some Spanish music there to liven up your playlist if you need some good Spanish music to wake you up or sing sad love songs to. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of lists there. I haven't even touched on country music. I figured I'd leave that out on my list in case I wasn't being judged enough for the people I listen to. But if you're interested in country, I'll do a quick little ramble here, a little run-off. Lady Antebellum, Carrie Underwood. Oh gosh, my brain. Miranda Lamberts, Blake Shelton, Kenny Chesney, Trace Adkins. Oh, there's so many. Maroon 5. I forgot Maroon 5. How dare I? I love Maroon 5. Maroon 5. Mariana's Trench is also another band I listen to. Canadian band. Natasha Bedingfield. I can't believe I forgot her on my list. Natasha Bedingfield. Ellie Goulding. And we'll end with Ed Sheeran. So I listen to a whole variety of music. A lot of upbeat dance along, sing along songs, some more with lots of meaning, motion and memory behind it. And it's quite a big spread too, from literally music. I have a playlist dedicated to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now on my Spotify. So I've got music from the last 50 years, honestly, on my Spotify. So I've got a whole range, and it's quite fun and quirky to have that expression in my life. So that is me. That was a lot of music and a lot of artists. So I recommend pausing it and writing it down and seeing if you want to check out something new, or if there's a song on here that I mentioned and you're like, yes, Dragyn, you rock for having it. Great, tell me in the comments. I want to know, what are some of your favorite songs and some of your favorite artists out there? And do we have any similar tastes at all, or am I crazy? you can tell me that too. But anyway, give this video a like if you've loved the topic and the conversation today. Share it with your friends. And I hope you enjoyed the drinks and had some comfy times while you listen to me ramble on about music, the songs I like, the reasons why I like them, and a whole list of other artists to explore for yourself one day. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I am a Mythical Dragon, and I'll see you next week in a new topic and a new episode. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.